try to do is get a sense of what the notes are. Now with the scaled instrument, it's rather easy because then you can play the scale and you can do it along one string and you can start to sing the notes that are privy to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that'll allow you to start going through playing, right? And I'm pretty sure Satriani said something to the effect of, you know, it's better to like sort of do things like a singer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he's not the only one that has said that. Prince, as a guitar player,
Yes.
was a huge proponent of that.
Yes.
And he specifically liked to use female vocals because
The higher range.
because the higher range, which would allow you to get to the higher notes
Right.
of the guitar,
Right.
and allow you to actually hear how it'd be used in a more vocal human setting.
So that's my next question to you, along those same lines. So which guitar frets or boxes go with the different vocal ranges? So obviously the bass is way down here, your baritone somewhere in here, your tenor,
The
or
guitar is
soprano.
actually more intricate than that.
Okay.
So the range separates out and the notes repeat. And because the notes repeat, it can be fairly difficult to assign what the ranges are, right?
Okay.
So you are right. The bass notes are the lower strings, but it's only for, I would say, up to the low E up to the A, which is the 5th fret, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to give you more your baritone range, right? So if you find out where the notes double exactly in their note ranges, you can find out what they are, right? So this E string here, this high E here, okay, is E4. Okay, E scientific pitch 4. That also means anytime you see an E4
Okay.
on sheet music, it's going to be that high E.
Okay.
That also means every single note that is its unison. Okay, so the actual range of that's going to be high E, 5th fret B, 9th fret E, then 14th fret, then 19th, and then 24th. Okay? All of that is going to cover this E4. Right?
I get you.
So every single one of those covers that range, right?
Okay.
And so you can say that this E4, right, is in the tenor range
Okay.
until we get to the 5. Now this C, that's C4, you get to E5, right?
Right.
So C5, E5, G5,
Okay.
C6, right?
Yes.
So we can now see where every single one of those notes are. And then you would start to aim for that. The easiest way to do it is start tracking it on one string, right? Because we can look at this one string that we have here. Where did I put the whammy bar? Did I seal it in the case? I think I did. So we can look at that one string there, and then we can start to follow that. So that's why we do that glissando vocal exercise in the beginning. Now, the thing about that too is you don't necessarily have to be a singer to utilize that, okay?
Okay.
You can use that to your advantage to even come up with lines, okay? And so the whole point that they say study singers is because we want to start coming up with vocal lines from it and use those lines to start trying to follow what we're doing, because a lot of these instruments were made to follow the human voice. So we can go like
So really, you have to test your voice with the strings then. And so with the guitar, you gotta check it out. There's no one set box then for the guitar. Are these worth the crap for trying to do?
I mean, they're okay, but like for instance,
So then
they'll be like, right? So the highest note here I have is C5.
Five, yep.
Right? And I'm going to do that again. D5.
Okay.
Right? And then the lowest note. And then do it again. And then we'll do it again. See? It needs accuracy. G4.
Okay.
All right.
And then that
And then
tells
see
you
the
that-
results.
Yes.
And so it'll tell you right here that that's a G4. But really, that's not even a G4. Okay?
Can you flip that down and it'll
Now-
show you the whole thing all the way up there?
Yeah. So it'll tell you right here, but that's not even correct
Okay,
because
it's
that's not a
not.
G4.
Okay.
It's a G1.
Okay.
All right. But it'll tell you here that I'm a soprano.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so what do you use then to test
I'm
people?
a countertenor. Okay.
But I mean, what do you use
I
to
use the
test
instrument.
Oh, to like the
I use
guitar or
the
piano?
or
Or?
the piano.
Okay, so don't use these apps.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Because it told me I was a baritone,
Yeah.
but it had this small little thing in the whole. Then I did it again. It was way bigger.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like so, like I'm looking at it, and it's like, okay, you have the D5, which I do.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So I can hit that note, but
So that's the way I want to really do it. I get it now. I get it. Okay. I'm only asking that to know. Maybe I want
I
to
was
stay in
in
a
the
certain
key.
box.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I
yeah,
asked.
yeah, and that's what it's for. Now the reality of it is that you can use your whole range, because as you can see, I'm hitting down in bass range. I'm doing it an octave lower because this
Okay.
is F2.
Yeah.
Right, and we vocal fry for that. So that means I'm hitting the F1.
So you can do that, but now don't you want to try and say, well, what about something
For
like
bass, you need to
sustained for
do
a
that.
long time? And
But for bass, you need to do that.
well, yes, if you got that kind of voice, you can do that.
And it's right around this area
Yep.
where it starts to all get so low it almost sounds intelligible. And, but
Right.
that tells you right there that the machine, it took that low G and read it up to a G4. And a G4, this is G3. This is G4. So that's not really a good indication because I sang much lower than that. So as far as it's saying I'm a soprano,
Right, you'd be way high.
and I'm hitting the soprano note,
Yep.
but C5 for countertenor is right there. And sometimes we can go higher than that.
Okay. So let me ask you this then. Would you say that from like the 8th fret on is like your
So this is bass,
to
baritone,
5, okay, to 5. Baritone is then from 5 to
C,
8, okay.
right? So baritone is entering this low bass
Okay.
mixture. We get to C3 to C4,
And then tenor,
yeah.
okay,
And then the high C, the tenor break is right here.
right there.
So here you can probably hit it more full voice.
Like 9.
But here I have to hit it falsetto.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a flowing range of where it goes,
okay.
but it's typically up to the 4th fret. It's going to be like the mixture of bass and baritone.
Then from 5 to 8 is going to be your
yeah,
your
and then when you get to B3 to C4, right? That's right here is right where we're starting to exit the higher baritone.
Okay.
And then start to get into the tenor.
Hey, so on this where it was showing those, it said like C's, then it went into the D's. Is it following that?
Yes.
It really is.
Yes.
Okay, so now I know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that before.
It just isn't as accurate.
Okay. Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
So then, here's the next thing he said. Start with those chords. I know all of these chords. I can change them pretty damn fast. He says get used to them. But he says you need these 16 chords to really buy these. He told me, do not buy one of the books with 200 chords. Get one of these that just is a sheet that has the 16 chords. So the ones that was formed to me are all the 7s, all those with a 7 on them. I didn't know, but I've looked at them now. The A sus4, didn't really know that. But the weird thing I see about these is this. Some of them are just so simple, like this A. You're just taking it down to an A6, all the way down to an A7 with one finger. So
because it's all one note. Like, so when they say A6, it's the A chord add the 6, right? So I could even play that like this.
Yes, I know. I get it, because it showed the different ones. But I'm trying to stick them all right down here right now. What would be the, I guess, open chord position?
Yeah.
So that, like all of these, that's how I'm going to do them. And
well,
then,
I would learn them actually all across the fretboard.
Well, I will.
And I would actually cycle them. So the first thing
cycle them.
The first thing is, remember that first chord exercise we did?
Yes.
So if you kept up with that chord exercise where we followed the scales.
Right.
If you did that from any starting note, you had every chord.
Just go over, yes, I know.
And then that gives you all of them. And these are just your diatonic chords. Right? And you can do that with every single thing in 15 minutes, just choosing a starting point, because it's the same formula, right?
Just up the neck, right.
Now the point of knowing these chords isn't just the chords, it's what we do with them in movement. So
I know it. That's what I was looking at when I was looking at each of these, how quick the fingers are right.
So what he's trying to show you is, and the specific movement is this. It's not so much the chord. Okay, it's the step. Okay. Here's a suspended. That's an E4.
I get it. I see that exactly.
Here's an E major.
I know.
Here's an E7.
Yep.
Here's an E minor.
Yep.
Here's an E diminished.
That one I don't know.
And this one,
that's a
right?
Yeah.
And then
I say that.
And then here's an E altered.
Okay.
Or you know they're inverses of each other.
I see that.
All
yes.
right. So when we start to recognize that, what we're seeing is we can do that at every chord. right there that motion that we're looking for in terms of chord movement. And so it's not so much he's saying learn where these chords are. What he's really saying is learn how these connect. And what I would even go a step further for on that is, besides, where's that metronome coming from? Oh, it's connected in the other room.
Oh.
And I just realized it. Somebody connected in here.
Yeah, they're over there.
Yeah. And they probably don't realize it. It's all right.
It sounded like it was coming out of the wall.
Yeah. He's connected to the wrong one.
Okay.
So what you really want to do is you want to actually take the chords and the scales and assign them to their numbers. Because to really understand the chords is to understand the functions, right? So for example, let's take G major. Okay. On the one string, G, A, B, C, D, F sharp, G, right?
Yep.
So let me play a chord progression out of this. So I'm gonna go, right? Now I'm gonna play it in another location. Now I'm going to invert it. And now I have this progression that leads me to a place. So now I can go.
In the next thing. Exactly. I love this.
Right? Now I can add specific notes. Yes. For example, I can use the modal note of F sharp in the this is here it's a diminished. I can use that leading tone and find that in this D chord. Now that F sharp is the perfect fifth of that beat.
It does. That's the one I'm in.
Now I'm going to add a note that you wouldn't suspect. This F7.
Okay, an F7. I did not expect.
So I can go.
Now
listen to that.
You resolved it.
Now what I did though is that I took that B and I used an imperfect cadence to take it here. And I can also use it like a true Lydian. Right? It still sounds good, right? So the modes are not just for looking at where we can just play off of them, they're also how we can aim for specific target notes that will give us certain sounds. And in this case, that would be that. And, you could add that F sharp there off that leading tone.
Look what you just did. You just did that, and then, okay, here's just read this. This is what I put in to the AI.
Okay. The 7th fret at the 5th.
6th and 5th.
And the 5 at the 9th. And the 5 at the strings 5 and 4 at the 9th. That's not fully correct.
When I said those strings, I meant, okay, it must have been 1 and 2, not 5 and 6.
No, 5 and 6 are this.
Yeah. So it was really like...
Oh, 5 and 6 are right here.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, 1 and 2 are right here.
1 and 2 are there, and that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, 5 and 6 are
so it's,
right here. So it's saying 6 is 7th, and it's saying 5 is 9th, and then it's saying 4 is 9th, right?
So it would be this.
Yeah, so it's telling you this is the power chord.
Okay.
right?
Right.
So that's why I wouldn't use that, because it's like it can be somewhat confusing, right? Because it's gonna tell you, but it's not gonna tell you right. And right there, it didn't even give you a full power chord. Another chord here. Pinball wizard.
Yes.
so yeah, that's AI is all right, but it has its problems and it gets things wrong fairly often. So I would be somewhat careful about that.
But when you just said what that be, and you put an F sharp with it, it said right here, that's the most stable and pleasing note to play alongside a B. It creates a rich open sound. So that's got to be correct.
Well, yes, and the reason that works is because it's a perfect fifth. What I'm trying to show you here, is we don't necessarily need that. It can help us, but we don't necessarily need it, and sometimes it'll tell you wrong.
Okay.
But that's it works because it's a perfect fifth. See, the reason inside when we talked about perfect fourths and perfect fifths,
yeah,
when we were doing intervals before,
yeah,
is because we needed to understand that the perfect fourth and the perfect fifths, they're inverses of each other. Okay?
Okay.
And so because they're inverses of each other, they work off of each other. Right? And so that's the...
Because you need to resolve the fourth, right?
Yeah, because you need to resolve it. Correct.
Okay.
And so...
Well,
why does this keep
Can I ask you this? Is all power chords dyads?
Yes.
Okay.
They're all dyads.
Okay. And then I want to ask another question based off of something I see here. And why is this?
Oh, hold on one second.
That's okay.
I'm going to tell him to turn off his Bluetooth.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. This pisses me off too because I feel like I'm not getting the right.
All right. Yes. Okay. So, the purpose of that is because we want to look for the intervals that are making certain things move, right? And for example, the reason that a 4 or 5 to 1 chord works is if I look at the notes inside, I have G. Inside a C chord is a G. Right? If I look at the next one, it's D.
Okay, and
D wants to go either or.
one or those. Yeah, I get
right?
what you're saying. Okay,
right?
That's important to know.
So here, D wants to go to E.
To E, yes.
Right? D also wants to go to C.
C, yes.
So I play that one note, and both those notes work.
Together,
And
yes.
if I go to B, it either wants to go to A
or to C.
Right? So if I'm playing a 6, or it wants to go to the root. Right? You can also take B
Okay.
to a suspended and a minor.
I think B is the hardest chord to work with. What do you think about
It's the tritone.
Okay.
Okay? F, if I look at that, the 4 and the 7 are the tritone.
Okay.
And they're the most difficult to work with because there's numbers of ways you can resolve them. So what you're looking for is not like, what you're looking for is where the scale goes in relation to the chords, the chord harmony. Knowing how they move chromatically means you know where the shape is, because you know if I know this is A major, I know I can move my middle finger and it's A minor.
Correct.
Right? I go here, because this is an octave,
Okay.
I know this is a ninth.
Okay.
And so I can turn that into a 7 add or a ninth chord here. Right? Or I can keep it major and have it be a major add 9. Or I can make it a major 7th chord because I know this goes down 1 to get a major 7th.
Okay, so what do they mean when they
Major
say
13
add
or
9 minus 5?
Exactly what it says.
So
Add
you're-
9 minus the 5th of the chord.
Why would they do it that
Because
way?
it's
Why?
because you're telling them exactly where the note is instead of thinking of the scale.
Okay.
Right? The problem is that when most people are trying to think, they're trying to think of the scale.
Yes.
So they're over analyzing what it is.
Okay.
Right? That's why I said like reading the ChatGPT is cool, but you're getting so much analytical backdrop that also might not be correct in the shape of the shape of the chord that it's not
Okay.
really going to help.
Okay.
What we actually have to look at instead are the notes themselves in the chord
Okay.
and why they work. And that goes back to one of those Rick Beato things I gave you, which was the 1, 4, 5.
Yes, and
or
that they talked about
what,
that too.
What
I
chords
was looking
actually
at.
what chords actually work together? Like
Right.
if I play
A progression.
like if I play a 1 chord at G, that E minor is also going to sub for that 1 chord. And then off of that E minor also subbing for that 1 chord, we also have the 3 chord, and the 3 chord of this case is the B minor. So notice how they all sound.
Yes.
Now I can use this.
They sound similar but different. I get what you're saying.
Now I can use this B minor to go into the key of D by adding this 5th. Right? Now it sounds like it went into another key. Because the 5 chords are the ones you got to think about.
Okay.
C, A minor, E minor, G, C, A minor, now E7.
So just keep going back to those then, right?
Yep. G7,
And work from there.
C.
So it'll eventually just keep going around the circle and you'll be playing different chords all the time.
Exactly. Like right here, I chose the key of G.
Right.
And because I chose the key of G, what I'm actually doing is working out how to move certain things. Now, the chords that you really have to pay attention to are the 5 chords. Because you can play what's called 5 of 5s. Like, for example, what I just did.
Okay.
G.
Right?
I did B minor. C. And then I can go E7. G. Now I'm going to go B minor. C, and then now I'm going to go A, D. Now I can go A, D, and then go to E minor.
And now I see why I need to cycle them. So I'm not going to just stick down here.
Yeah.
When I do an E minor down here, I'm going to find
Yeah.
E minor everywhere else along
Because
here.
that's what you want to do. If I know the E minor's here, I know that there's an E minor here, which gives me this one.
Yep.
It also
That
gives
one.
me this one.
It's almost like a Roy Orbison too,
Yeah.
man.
And
That
then
first one.
And then it also gives me, and also this one's actually more of like a 7th chord, right here. Oh, and actually it's right here. It's an inversion.
3 fingers to play
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah, because this is also E minor. So I'm playing with the 3rd.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to do
Right.
that all done with every one of them.
Yeah, and so what it matters here is not really the shape so much as what the chords do. Because 5 chords you can use to change to any key,
I get
as
that.
well as 4
Get that.
chords.
5 chords especially.
I mean, I can
Man,
go
that's
like
what-
this.
And once again, because of what they just said, the 5 chord is the most stable. So I'm guessing that translates to when you move from one to the other, it's always going to be stable. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
right?
It's important to know.
So even doing things like that. See, now this is G major, and now I'm using chords not in it.
Okay.
Borrows from G minor, G minor, G minor, G major. See what I'm saying?
Get it. I get it.
There's a lot of ways that we can go about the chords, but it's how we use the chords.
Right.
And so the more important thing is to know the major scale, the parallel minor scale to that major. So if I know what G major is, I should know what G minor is. I should be able to interweave between that.
Two.
Also, if I know the modes, then I know I can add a chord here. For example, right? If I add a B flat off of this G, I should be able to get this sound. And then I can go from here and make this an E flat Lydian. And then I can make this a 13th sus4. Right? And then resolve back to G.
Yeah.
Now, those are chords that you wouldn't think of, but it's about the chord function. Because if I'm playing this right here is a major, so it's operating sort of like as a dominant, but it's a major. And I could take this back to A, or I could take this to A7. Then to D major. Or D or C sharp. Right? There's a lot of things that we can do in terms of that, in terms of some of those movements. So this here, and then I can turn this right here into a Dorian. Right?
Yeah.
And that allows me to change the keys. Connected to his?
Oh, it must be. Did you tell him?
No. Oh, it's still connected to his. I don't know why. Oh.
Didn't you just tell him?
I did, but I think it connected to his. And then, okay. No, because they automatically connect when you try to connect them.
Oh.
And he's probably not able to hear it.
Okay. Yeah, he's not listening to it. It's on yours.
All right. So now we're gonna try this again. Now that we have that, there we go.
That's very good.
All right. So now the whole point of what we're trying to do with this here is we're trying to look at the chords as their chord formulas and their chord functions. Okay, and that's what we gotta do when we're trying to put it together. We got to look at what chord we want to go to.
Okay.
And what is its function going to be? Because if I'm playing a B flat as a Lydian, then I've switched to the key of F. You know, and so I think that is an important distinction to try to make. Give me 1 second while I.
Yep.
Try to make sure that we are connected. Right?
Yep.
So this is why something like this is good, right? So we have G minor, okay? Now, because we have G minor, there's a couple of things that we can do. We can play G minor, or we can play D7, or we can play C Dorian. Or off the B flat, we can play the Lydian. Off that Lydian, we can add melodic minor. That gives us E flat 5 and F flat 5. Or F sharp. Also gives us E flat 5, C7 flat 5, and F sharp diminished. Right?
Yes.
And then that takes us back to G major. Right?
To that from there.
So those are some options that we can play off that chord. We're thinking of it off that chord. Now that C major, we have an interesting sound here. Right? Because that C major, we get Lydian dominant.
Okay. That's
Right?
That's good. Yes.
Right? So if we actually listen to it when we're going through it here,
Okay.
and this is the best way to do it, we can actually hear it here. The blues and stuff is that when we look at the blues and things like that, the blues mixes major and minor, right? So a lot of your rock players, when we overcomplicate it, in Led Zeppelin,
yep.
Right? So what's actually happening is over these blues licks, we get this minor sort of sound. And then we get this. Right? So we get these sort of sounds. So now it's not about how we actually play the scale, or it's not about the scale, it's about how we decide to mix them to play around, right?
So it's two guitars.
Right? what I'm doing here is by understanding where those half steps and whole steps are with the chord,
Yes.
I now also I understand where to add the extensions from the scale. This takes me outside of playing the scale position,
Okay.
and it now takes me into playing anything I want.
Yeah, I get it.
Right? So here, because
I'm stuck by just the 8 that
Yeah.
are in there, which really is 7 plus the
octave.
But everything that can go.
Everything that can go there, right?
Yes.
Because over that C, I have what we call Lydian dominant. I can also play over that C a minor. Check it out. Allowed me to play over that C chord. Right? Right?
Switch it back
and then
to
switch
a
it back
G
to
or
melodic minor,
yes,
right?
I get it.
So the way that I think about this rather is, I think when you look at this, you should look at the chords by understanding where its root note is in the scale. Understanding the number. And then you set it up with the major chord and the minor chord next to it, right? So if I do C major, here's C major. Here's this parallel minor, C minor. Also this. Here's D minor. And here in this key, it's D diminished. Or E minor, E flat major, F major, 7, F minor, 7, G7, also still G7, A minor, A flat major 7,
Wow.
B7 flat 5, also B diminished, also B flat, back to C major, then C Lydian. Right? And those are all the chords. Now we outline them all like that because it gives us everything that we need. And then we can stick our diminished chords in between. Here I'll play. That gives us a full perspective of the chords. So instead of thinking about them as separate, line them up where they line up with the note at the scale.
Okay.
And then put the minor, and then do the same thing with the minor. And then now you play in between those because now you can get them to go anywhere you want.
Yes.
Notice after I did this one.
Okay.
Right there, she went 7-5, and she's 7. There's this.
G7 back to a C.
There's also that. And this is also that diminished. So, you know, that will be go here. We got this diminished. And then this will
like
that whole
that.
movement.
I like
Okay?
that's a very good, nice movement
Right?
there.
And that's how we sort of want to do that. And then eventually we go our dominant sevenths. Right? And then so the next one here, if I'm doing that same thing, is diminished. And so I don't really do that. So I go. And then E7. And I can even, yeah, then E7. E7. And then here we'll go F minor. Because G. Right? And then we go F7, B minor. Right? And then the next one's C. So that one's G7, C. And then since we're playing in G, the G minor, we get this D flat. And then D, you get A7. And then here we get the B flat 7.
Same shapes, just moving all the way up and down.
Yep, and then B7, B minor,
And C shape again and all of that right back down.
and then we get the F,
Okay, yeah.
and now G minor and F is a 7 chord. Then we get the F sharp, and here it's still C7, diminished. Right?
Yes.
So we get a lot of the different movements that we can do from there. Right? And that's it. Okay?
One other thing, why is there no, like, how should I say this? When they write out the chords
Mm-hmm.
forever, is there a way to just start with the very first chord? Let's just say it's A. We're going to start there on the whole scale and everything. A. And then all of the A's. Like you see these, but I can go through all these different books of every A chord. How would you know, like I'm talking about for like in order?
Because you
The
know where
pitch. How
because you know where the notes are. So if I know this is A3, I would know this is A3. And then I would know this is A3. And the thing is,
No, I'm talking this, Dion. Why is this ordered like this? Why isn't it like?
because those are how the notes are moving in terms of where the note is located.
But even when they start with C, what would be the very first C note you should ever
The,
start
the
with?
root note. C.
So there's C.
So here's a C. Right? That's the root note.
So this should be the next C.
That's
ever.
a C6.
Right. Which I know what that is. Okay.
Yeah. Now you would just do them in order of the chord. So look, here's a C.
Okay.
Here's a C. Here's a C. Here's a C.
Right.
Right? Here's a C. Right? And then here's a C.
All right.
Now what that does for me is it allows me to find the locations. Right? And that tells me where everything is. So if I know the C's here, right, I want a different voicing. And then here's the next one. And then here's the next one. If I want to do that with a B chord.
Exactly what we we're just talking about. What I'm going to be doing. Yes. I get it. And the money.
If I want to do it with an A on the bottom. That C now becomes an A minor 7. Now it's got the C, then it's F sharp over C, then F over C, G over C, right? So what I do is I find all the notes in the scale and I walk them down, and then I find where the chords interleap. And if you're a perfect fifth up, for most chords, you can play a seventh chord a perfect fifth up.
Okay.
This teaches you where all the chords are,
Yes.
and then I add in the borrowed chords from there.
Yeah, that's
And
what
this
I'm
shows you where everything is at.
Yep.
So then you go to the G major, right, G minor, and then we go to the A minor, then we do our chromatic diminished. And then we have our A diminished. And then here we get B flat major. And then B minor. Right? And then from that, right? So then we get C major. C minor. C minor. C major. Right? Then I can add all of those seventh chords in. The diminished don't really have like a perfect fifth, right?
Those are the weirdest chords. Diminished.
Yeah.
They're kind of like just, I don't know, out there.
Yeah, they really are out there.
I like it.
Right? And that gives us all of our. Right?
That's very nice.
Right. So
I'm
that-
going to be practicing
So that gives
now.
you all of those.
Yeah, I'll be able to go over that with you next week. You'll see, because
Okay.
that's what I'm going to practice. I want to show you what else I'm practicing, though.
Okay.
So you get all
Oh,
access to
the
all
next student's waiting, by the way.
The back of the neck.
It's only 2 minutes.
Joint has been sculpted back so that you can reach
Well,
out
he's
higher.
telling you about the guitar. It's a kick-ass guitar. Yes, it is.
For me. So anyway, it addressed all the issues that I always had problems with while playing the guitar. So finally, a guitar.
It's my new favorite two people.
Stays out of your way.
Him
The only
on
limitations you have
YouTube
from your life, this
and
guitar,
Joe
are just
Satriani.
out of yourself.
But
Yeah.
I like this.
So,
Watch
but
this
you
one.
can't play this.
You've seen this. But now watch this.
What that was a C sharp Phrygian minor lick, just from the key of A major. We're alternate picking every note, and it's 4 fingers per string, so you're really stretching out.
This is what I like.
That's why you
Right
need
here.
a guitar like this,
Coming up.
that kind of weighs out of your way.
Oh, yeah.
So here it is slow. Move to the next position.
Yeah, sequencing.
I'm going to practice this. I can see what he's doing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to practice it. But I can't do it like his fast.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
it's because he's been practicing that for a long time.
Well, I know that, DeAndre. But don't you think, like, putting a metronome to that and just keep doing that?
Yes, that's how you do that. But it's also you gotta practice the stretching, because
Yes.
the stretching is the big deal. You know, so
Yes.
that's the big deal with that one is if you
Okay.
can get it stretched.